Hello, folks. How are you? Rafael from Brazil. I'm 26 years old, and I'm gonna talk about my English learning process. I'm 26 years old, and I'm self-taught, and I had never studied in a language school. Uh, Basically, uh, I learned English by doing an immersion. Basically, watching TV shows, reading books. Graded readers, especially graded readers, help me a lot. Graded readers are like books uh, divided in English levels. For example, if you are on the beginner level, you read books for your skills, for your level. If you are a beginner, you read beginners books. So and I follow many polyglots and linguists on YouTube. Like Luca Lamparelli is a great polyglot. He's an Italian. Steve Coffin is another great a polyglot, Canadian polyglot. And basically, they say that to learn another language, you have to do an immersion. You have to do lots of listening, lots of reading, and magically, you're gonna start to speak. Magically, you're gonna start to speak English. And I do believe that because that's what happened to me. I wasn't so confident to practice my speaking. Uh, Basically, my learning process for many years was only focused on listening and reading. Basically, 90% of my time when learning another language, when practicing English, it was always related to listening and reading. Usually, I would spend 2 or 3 hours just listening to TV shows, reading books, and I totally believe that. Just doing immersion, you're gonna learn structures, phrases. Uh, of course, grammar is a important part when learning another language, but it's it don't we don't need when we focus on grammar, we are not gonna learn the language. We learn the language we learn grammar by learning the language, but we don't learn the language by learning grammar. This is totally different. I speak this. I'm telling about it because I try to do that. I try to focus on grammar. So of course, everyone has your own method. Many polyglots they have different methods, but basically they have the same foundation. What do they do? They focus on listening and reading. That's their focus, you know. And it's so simple. If you want to improve your listening, just listen. If you want to improve your reading, just read. Just read. If you want to improve your speaking, just speaks. You know. So basically, that's my learning process. And I do believe that learning another language is a lifelong learning process. You know, I've been fluent in English for years, and I still learn English. I do still learn English. Every single day I watch TV shows, uh, movies. Sometimes I learn a lot of slangs, a lot of expressions, a lot of idioms. You know, especially right now I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and it's an awesome TV show. I love it. It's a comedy TV show, and it's not easy. It's not easy to watch this TV show. They talk too fast. Their jokes are really you have to think fast when you are trying to understand the jokes. And there are a lot of slangs, a lot of idioms. So basically that's my learning process. If you want to learn another language, you just have to listen, reading. Just have to listen, read, go to the dictionary, listen to the correct pronunciation. Don't don't be afraid of making mistakes. And it takes time. Learning another language, it takes lots of time. You have to take your time. Learning another language is like playing a video game. You don't like to play a video game just to finish the game with the boss, you know. You just like to play the whole game. You just enjoy to play the whole game. That's the purpose here, you know. When learning another language, you have to think like you are playing a video game. You just have to enjoy it. Thanks for listening, guys. That's a wrap.